We begin by connecting our laptop and our first IP922 unit into our verified network switch that has been configured according to our document on KeyDigital.com. So just three components right now: our first IP922 unit, our laptop, and our verified network switch. And we configure the static IP address for the laptop to be first three octets 192.168.1, and then we just choose an IP address lower than 100 because the encoders, decoders have IP address default IP addresses. They're static as well, and they are above 100. So now we open up our KeyDigital management software. We perform a network scan. And the software will sweep our entire network here. Searching for any KeyDigital management software compatible devices. And right now, again, we just have the one encoder, or one IP922 unit connected. It is an encoder. And so it should find that for us. There it is. So we choose the device, and on the left now we have the properties for that device. We enter a desired friendly name. This is typically just whatever the source is called. For example, DirecTV 1, DirecTV 2, laptop, Podium, etc. Device ID, we start at 1, and for each encoder we just go up. And same thing with decoders. We start at 1 and we go up. So friendly name, device ID. Now we go into our network settings where we apply our desired IP address for what's called the main network settings and the video. So there are two IP addresses for every 922 unit. They're going to occupy two IP addresses. One is for the broadcast of your video over IP signal, and the other is for all the other communications that they do unit to unit and within controlling the system, etc. So that's really quite a unique feature of KeyDigital's KD-IP922 ENC and DEC, is that they do require two IP addresses each for the different layers of communication. They reboot after setting that by pressing that floppy disk icon. We're going to go ahead and connect our next IP922 unit, and now that we've adjusted the IP addresses of the first unit, we know there's not going to be any conflicting IP addresses here. So we now perform our network scan, and the new unit is going to come in at its default IP address. Yes, we do see it here. Go back up to the top, enter our desired friendly name, and provide a unique device ID. The first one was number 1, so this is number 2. Scroll on down to main network settings where we enter our desired IP address, and down further to our video network settings where we enter our desired video IP address for our broadcast. And you see I've kind of developed a system there where it's 1.111 for main, 211 for video. The next unit was 112 for main IP address and 212 for the video IP address. Press save and it'll reboot the unit with the new IP settings applied. Connect our third IP922 unit, perform a network scan again. And here now is our third. And because we just have a 2x2 system here, it's our first decoder, but the same principles apply. Provide a friendly name for this, the display, and a device ID starting at 1, and we'll just work our way up as we add more units. Main IP address and video IP address. Again, one is for all the control communication and another is for the video broadcast. Hit the save icon, it reboots the unit, and it shows up again with the appropriate network settings applied, so we can just click on it to confirm that if you wish. And in our case, we're now going to connect our next IP922 unit. You see all the settings there, looking healthy, and apply our network scan, where we now have 4 units connected in on our network. Here is the 4th unit. Give it its friendly name, desired name, and this is the name that will show up in the KeyDigital app. This is the name that will show up in our control panel at right side of the screen there. We give a device ID. This one is number 2. So again, always with device IDs, make sure you have a unique ID, always starting at 1, working your way up on the encoders, and then always starting at 1, working your way up at the decoders for the 922. Keep in mind that is different for the IP1080s. There's different reasoning for the device IDs from the IP922, so it is something to consider if you have experience with one system and now are doing this for the first time. So we now have 2 sources, 2 displays. Now we are going to make a system out of these. So we have a bunch of individual components that we've configured, but now let's make this one system. So we do system manual switcher, we provide a name for our system, and we make sure that IP922 4K switcher is connected, and we set our desired amount of inputs and outputs. And very important, now we just need to drag. So this is like our input-output numbering assignments here. We drag across from the units on our network to the desired input-output, and you see what I did there? I accidentally made a mistake, so this is display 2, so I want that obviously to be output 2. There we are. Hit save. It saves really just a file locally to my computer, but now we are going to load this. And what's unique about IP922 is that every unit knows about every other unit, and that's because this switcher file gets loaded to each and every unit, as you can see here. So every unit knows about every other, and that's what enables just one of the units to be your point of control from a third-party control system, or Compass Control just uses one IP address of any unit. We now have the units there. We see the black text means they're live on the network. I could actually control them using the control panel, and if this was live in front of you and connected sources, connected displays, you would see these switching happening. And if you have a video wall, this is how you do that. You just go here in System and add video wall. Give it a name, because obviously you could have different video walls in a system. And starting display, and how many across, how many vertical, and since it was starting display 1, it just starts there, and it knows the next sequential, since it's just 2 by 1, the next sequential display is part of that video wall. And now by pressing the video wall tab at the bottom of screen, I could even control that. I drag across with that black means no break in screen, so now I'd have my one image across the 2 displays, or I could even just click once, click twice to break up my screen into individual, or my video wall into individual images. But now if you do add that video wall, you would now send the file to all of the units so they understand that that is part of their system. And if you had multiple files on your computer, this is where they're all viewed. There is a folder in the KeyDigital Management Software folder that of your projects there. So you have that file, and that's useful to know in case in the future you wanted to make edits to another system that was programmed on another PC. You want to take that file from the original PC, and that's all there in the KeyDigital Management Software folder.